Hello, lovely people of YouTube. I am Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, talking about the early success of the Nintendo Switch. As of September 30th this year, the Nintendo Switch has sold 23 million. The Nintendo Switch launched in March of 2017, so the Nintendo Switch is on the market less than 2 years, and it has already sold 23 million. Whoa. Whoa, man. That is a huge early success, man. What a success the Nintendo Switch has been so far. A lot of people picking up this amazing console. I love it. I love the fact that you can play it on the TV, you can play it on the train, on the bus, on the beach. You can play Nintendo Switch anytime, anywhere. I think that's the biggest reason why I know I love the Nintendo Switch, and why so many other people around the world love the Nintendo Switch, and why it has sold so well. Now, what sells a video game system is not the system itself, it's the games in which you play on the system. So let's talk about the success of some Nintendo Switch games. Super Mario Odyssey has sold 12.17 million as of September this year. All of these games, all of the sales from these games are from September of this year. So Super Mario Odyssey has sold 12.17 million. Mario Kart 8 has sold 11.71 million. In fact, Mario Kart 8 remains in the UK video game charts to this day. Whoa. Whoa, man. That game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, released in spring of 2017, and it is still in the UK video game charts. In fact, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on one system, Nintendo Switch, has outsold Hitman 2. Hitman 2 released across multiple consoles, and those consoles would have a much higher install base compared to Nintendo Switch, because PS4 and Xbox One was on the market for over 4 years. Nintendo Switch was on the market for under 2 years. But even with those statistics, Mario Kart 8, a game released in spring of 2017, released on one system, has sold more than Hitman 2. Whoa. Whoa, man. In fact, Hitman 2 sales are down 91% compared to the previous Hitman, whereas Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Mario Kart game in the series. Again, selling 11.71 million as of September. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has sold 10.28 million. Splatoon 2 has sold 7.47 million. 1-2 Switch has sold 2.16 million. And ARMS has sold 2.10 million. That is an amazing early success for both the Nintendo Switch hardware and the Nintendo Switch software. Nintendo Switch has a lot of different games for a lot of different people. Nintendo Switch has fantastic single player experiences, like Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I prepared this video. Super Mario Odyssey, fantastic single player action adventure game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a quality Japanese role-playing game. And of course, the sun is a bit bright here, the amazing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Game of the Year 2017. I had to realize what year I was in there for a second. Won Game of the Year 2017 did Breath of the Wild. Again, an amazing single player experience. So these three quality Nintendo Switch games, which, as I pointed out, all sold extremely well on Nintendo Switch, deliver amazing single player experiences. If single player experiences are not your thing, and you want to play your games with your friends either locally in the same room or online across the world, Nintendo Switch has some fantastic quality multiplayer games. This is like the toy show here. So if multiplayer is your thing, you can play a cool, innovative fighter called ARMS. You can ink it up in Turf War with Splatoon 2. Or you can skid around the track with your buddies online in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All of which support voice chat as well. So you can actually speak to your friends while you play these games online across the world or in the living room. So quality multiplayer experiences. This game outselling Hitman 2. Oh man, crazy. In the UK charts, that is. Hasn't outsold the game. It's sold more than Hitman 2 in the UK video game charts, is what I meant to say. And if you're one of those people who says, but Nintendo only make games for kids, I don't want to play kids games. Well, if you're not a kid and you don't like to play fun games, you don't like to be an inner kid, well, Nintendo Switch offers a lot of adult games. And I mean a lot. These are just some of the games. By the way, these are just the Nintendo Switch games I have. So there's quite a lot that I have. So if you want to rip and tear some demons, you want to rip off demons' heads and rip out their evil hearts, gory, bloody violence. If you want to experience that on your Nintendo Switch, it's right there in front of you. Doom, which also has online multiplayer as well. If you want to take part in heists, rob banks with your buddies, you can do that in Payday 2. That's also online. In fact, it actually has online co-op. If you want to shoot up some Nazi scum, you can play Wolfenstein 2. If you want to solve deadly and sinister murder cases, you can play L.A. Noire. And yes, that is the Rockstar logo. Rockstar support Nintendo Switch. And if you want to explore the legendary world of Skyrim, then you can do that on Nintendo Switch. So plenty of adult games there for you. So, you know, there are a lot of popular games on Nintendo Switch, including Fortnite, very popular game. Minecraft is also on Nintendo Switch, and FIFA is on Nintendo Switch. But you know what? It ain't just about the one game, the one popular game. There's a lot of different games for a lot of different people on Nintendo Switch. So I hope this video shows people that, you know, there's a lot of other games available on your Nintendo Switch as well. Now, the last game I'm going to show is 1-2 Switch, because the great thing about Nintendo is they make content for everyone. So if you're somebody who doesn't play video games at all, you don't play much video games, you don't have much skill, you're not really interested in, you know, single player games like Breath of the Wild or multiplayer games like Mario Kart, and you don't want to play violent video games, 1-2 Switch is the perfect game for anyone. Literally anybody can play this game. I play this game with my parents. My mother loves it. My father loves it. It's a very fun game that comes with a lot of mini games. Now, one of my favorite mini games, if I can find it, is Quick Draw. It's actually up here, number 7, where one player will have a Joy-Con each. It acts as a gun. You look at your opponent's eyes and you try to distract them. And when you hear fire, You point your Joy-Con at your opponent, you pull the trigger and you shoot. But it's all about waiting until you hear fire. There's lots of other games as well. They're all fun mini games that utilize the Joy-Con of the Nintendo Switch, which is amazing, by the way. There's a game called Ball Count in this game as well, where you have to hold the Joy-Con in your hand, rotate it around. It uses technology called HD Rumble. You can physically feel balls rolling around in your hand. Grow up, grow up, grow up. Balls rolling around in your hand. You have to guess how many are in it. So, as I said, Nintendo Switch offers a lot of different games for a lot of different people, and they're selling extremely well. Extremely well. Nintendo Switch is a huge, humongous success, and I wanted to make a video about that. And I also want to go back to what I was talking about earlier about these popular games. Fortnite, which I actually have. It's a very popular game. A lot of people play this. A lot of people enjoy playing this game. But if you own a Nintendo Switch and you have Fortnite and you play a lot of it, just take a step back from Fortnite and realize that there's a lot of different games for a lot of different people on Nintendo Switch. If online multiplayer is your thing, you want to play your games with your buddies, you want to use voice chat, there's a lot of online multiplayer games for Switch, as I pointed out. If you just like to play single player games, action adventure single player games, role playing games, whatever, there's a lot of those games on Nintendo Switch. If you want to play your adult games, there's a lot of violent, gory. Papalo, did you just got the Nintendo? No, man, I had this since launch. Launch day, Pablo. Launch day. Day one, man. I couldn't miss the opportunity of getting this game day one. Day one, buddy. Day one purchase for me. No, I'm just making this retrospective video just to look back at the early success of Nintendo Switch that it's having so far. It is 100% worth it. You can take your games anywhere. You can sit in front of your TV and play your games, or you can take your console with you and play it on the train or on the bus. It is 100% worth it. As I pointed out in the video, it's got a lot of different games for a lot of different people. So I was saying that if online multiplayer is your thing, if you want to play your games with your friends online, apart from Fortnite, you have games like Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and ARMS. You can play these games. I do have Fortnite, but I want to make a point here. Fortnite is an extremely popular game. A lot of people play it, but it's not the only game on Nintendo Switch. It's certainly not the only multiplayer game on Nintendo Switch. So the point I want to make is, if online multiplayer is your thing, you want to play your games with your friends, you want to use voice chat, there's a lot of online multiplayer games on Nintendo Switch that you can play with your friends, and you can use voice chat. Splatoon 2, ARMS, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just being an example. Oh, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. Oh my god, that is a tough one. You know what? I'm the kind of a guy where I don't really have a favourite game. Can I say that? I don't really have a favourite game. I love all my games. I really, and honestly, truly, I love all my games. It's hard for me to find a favourite game. It really, really is. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll have to make a video about that. I really, honest to God, don't have a favourite game right now on Nintendo Switch. I really, really don't. There's so many great games on Nintendo Switch that I'm enjoying and playing. So, as far as the question, is it worth it? It is 100% worth it, buddy. 100%. If online multiplayer isn't your thing and you like single player experiences, as I pointed out, you can have a lot of single player experiences on Nintendo Switch with a lot of great single player action adventure Japanese role playing games, whatever the genre. You have Super Mario Odyssey, as an example. You have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as an example, and you have the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I also want to point out something, and I'm going to plug in my radio for this. Indies, independent games, or on Nintendo they're referred to as Nindies. I want to highlight the humongous success of Nindies. These are independent developers who don't have large budgets, who don't have a lot of money to create their games. Yet those games are taking over the world. I'm going to play the soundtrack for Axiom Verge, a fantastic independent game that I have on Nintendo Switch for this point. Independent games. Wait for it. So I hope I don't get flagged for copyright here. If they do, they'll just mute the music or something, I don't know. But Axiom Verge, let me just turn down a small bit. Axiom Verge is one of many, and I mean many, independent games available on Nintendo Switch. Independent games offer a totally different experience from mainstream AAA titles. A lot of these independent games pay tribute to the origins of gaming, the late 80s, early 90s of gaming. In fact, Axiom Verge is a lovely throwback to classic Metroid and Castlevania games in terms of its visuals, its music, as you can hear, in its game, in its gameplay also. So that's one of the things that indie games do. They really pay tribute to, you know, retro video games, moving as far away from modern games as possible. So if you're looking for something completely different on Nintendo Switch, if you want something completely different from, you know, Super Mario Odyssey or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or 1-2 Switch or shooting demons on the go with Doom, if you're just looking for something completely out there and different, or if you want a return to form, if you want to return to the retro style of video games, Indies is the place to go. And Axiom Verge is just one example of many independent games. So as I pointed out, a lot of different games for a lot of different people on Nintendo Switch. I get that Fortnite is an extremely popular game, so is Minecraft, so is Rocket League, so is FIFA, all of which are available on Nintendo Switch. But just take a step back from one popular game. Take a look around and realise the amount of quality games on Nintendo Switch. Also, I failed to mention Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu has sold 3 million copies in less than 3 days. That is absolutely huge. It has outsold Red Dead Redemption 2 last week, and it has outsold Fallout 76. Fallout 76 just launched. And Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu has outsold the game. I was just looking at your collection. You have a lot. Thank you, Pablo. I have a lot of games on Nintendo Switch. A lot of games, quality games. So less than 2 years on the market, the Nintendo Switch has become a humongous, absolutely humongous success. So let me go over those sales numbers again. So since the Nintendo Switch launched in March of 2017, right up to September of this year, Nintendo Switch has sold 23 million units. Wow. That's a lot of people owning a Nintendo Switch in less than 2 years on the market. Nintendo Switch is one of the fastest selling consoles of all time. Certainly Nintendo's fastest selling console in their history. And as I said, you know, it's video games that sell video game consoles. The software sells the hardware. So Super Mario Odyssey, a return to form, a full-on open world sandbox 3D Super Mario game, has sold 12.17 million as of September of this year. All of those games are from September this year. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 11.71 million copies. And again, I want to point out, that game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, released in spring of 2017. It is available on one system. And it has outsold, last week in the UK video game chart, has outsold Hitman 2. In fact, Hitman 2 sales are down 91% over Hitman 1. Whereas Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has become the fastest selling, best selling Mario Kart game in the series. What a huge, huge statistic that is. Mario Kart 8 selling 11.71 million as of September this year. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Game of the Year 2017, has sold 10.28 million. Splatoon 2, a brand new IP for Nintendo, has sold 7.47 million. 1-2 Switch, the game for everyone, has sold 2.16 million. And ARMS, the innovative fighter, has sold 2.10 million. Amazing success for a console that has only been on the market for 2 years. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you own a Nintendo Switch, and if you're sucked into the popularity and success of games like Fortnite, Minecraft, Rocket League and FIFA, which there's nothing wrong with, but just maybe take a step back, look around you and realise the amount of different Nintendo Switch games for different people. Because as I said, Nintendo Switch offers a lot of different games for a lot of different people, including, you know, these great indie games. You're listening to the soundtrack of Axiom Verge. What a fantastic independent game that is, and there's lots of other independent games. In fact, at this year's Game Awards, the Game Awards 2018, it's actually an indie game is actually up for nomination for Game of the Year. How big is that? So Nintendo Switch continues to be a huge early success. Its software continues to be a huge early success. Nintendo Switch has a lot of different games for a lot of different people. Online multiplayer games with voice chat. Single player content with immersive video game worlds and stories. Adult games, gory, violent, bloody, mature, hardcore games like Skyrim, Doom, Payday 2, Wolfenstein 2, and LA Noire. And if you're just looking for something that anyone can play, 1-2 Switch is there as well. So Nintendo Switch has a lot of games, as Pablo pointed out. Oh my God! Please tell me I got pronounced your name correctly. Pablo pointed out I have a lot of Nintendo Switch games. Feel free to check out that video of my Nintendo Switch collection. And if you're just looking to buy Nintendo Switch, now is the time. There's some amazing bundles out there right now. You can get a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or a Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Nintendo Switch bundle. You can get a Diablo 3 Eternal Collection bundle as well. You can get the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle, which is also going to be a huge success for Nintendo when it releases in 2 weeks' time. So, and to think that somebody once told me that Nintendo Switch will be a flop. Oh, the irony. The absolute irony. Thank you all for watching. Big shout out to my lovely subscribers. Pyrochronics Vlogs, L4 Electricity Kid, Epic Kid 23, Aidan Denniston, Mindpex Gaming, Black Knight the Gamer, Hamino Games, Pablo to you as well, and to all of my other lovely subscribers, supporters and viewers. Thank you all for watching. Nintendo Switch is the place to be. Goodbye.